Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Sanjay Mattu with the news at 9. The headlines. 3-day-long Parakram parv celebrations begin across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates exhibition at Jodhpur showcasing capabilities of armed forces. Supreme Court opens gates of Ayyappa Temple at Sabarimala to women of all ages. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says a 7-member ministerial group will be set up to suggest measures for helping states facing natural calamities. Supreme Court declines SIT probe in Bhima Koregaon case, says arrest of activists not due to malicious prosecution or dissent against government. 7.5 magnitude earthquake jolts Indonesian island of Sulawesi. And in Asia Cup final, Bangladesh set a winning target of 223 runs for India. A 3-day Parakram parv began today to showcase the courage, valour and sacrifice of the Indian Armed Forces. The main event was held at the India Gate lawns in the capital this evening, with Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman inaugurating it. Speaking on the occasion, she said, through the surgical strike at the line of control in 2016, the Indian Armed Forces proved to the world that there's a very clear way to show India's strength and it will not tolerate terrorists entering its territory and creating havoc. The minister said those who wanted to spread terrorism were adequately punished through the strike.
The night of 28th and 29th, Indian Armed Forces proved to this world that there is a very clear way in which we will show our strength to say that we shall not tolerate terrorists coming in the garb of intruders and creating havoc at our borders. All the terrorist pads were cleared off and those who were wanting to spread terror have been adequately punished. इसीलिए आज हम पराक्रम पर्व मना रहे.
Our correspondent reports that school children, NCC cadets, Jawans among others were present in large numbers.
At the inauguration of the event, a song written by Prasoon Joshi and sung by Kailash Kher was unveiled.
मेरा देश मेरी जान है, मेरा गर्व है, अभिमान है, और ये अभिमान है जिंदा क्योंकि सीमा पर वीर जवान है. चलो.
Noted singers and military band are scheduled to perform at the venue on all the days of the parv as part of the cultural performances. Movies and photographs depicting valor and courage of the armed forces are being showcased during the 3-day event. Visitors will get the opportunity to see captured weapons used by terrorists that have been brought from Jammu and Kashmir. Military equipment like artillery guns and small arms are also on display. With Divakar Kumar, Suparna Sekya, AIR News, Delhi.
53 locations in 51 cities across the country will be also showcasing the events, highlighting the valour of the Indian Armed Forces in general and Special Forces in particular. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated a 3-day exhibition, Parakram Parv, at the Jodhpur military station. The exhibition showcases the might of the Indian Armed Forces and their contribution to nation building. Mr. Modi also paid homage to the martyred soldiers of the 1965 and 1971 wars at the War Memorial of the Kunar Corps. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, through Parakram Parv, we express gratitude to our armed forces for their invaluable contribution to our nation. Later, the Prime Minister attended a combined commanders conference. The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring you a special bilingual program on Parakram Parv tonight from 9:15 to 10 p.m. The participants are Lieutenant General Vinod Bhatia, Lieutenant General Rakesh Sharma and Lieutenant General Mukesh Sabarwal. This can be heard on the FM Gold channel. The Supreme Court today paved the way for entry of women of all ages into the Ayyappa Temple at Sabarimala in Kerala. The 5-judge Constitution bench, headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra, in its 4-1 verdict, said banning the entry of women into the shrine is gender discrimination and the practice violates the rights of Hindu women. It said religion is a way of life, basically to link life with divinity. The Chief Justice said devotion cannot be subjected to discrimination and patriarchal notions cannot be allowed to trump equality in devotion. While Justices R.F. Nariman and D.Y. Chandrachud concurred with the Chief Justice and Justice A.M. Khanwilkar, Justice Indu Malhotra gave a dissenting verdict. Justice Malhotra, in her dissenting judgment, said that issues which have deep religious connotation should not be tinkered with to maintain a secular atmosphere in the country. Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi and NCW Chairperson Rekha Sharma welcomed the verdict. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today said a 7-member group of ministers will be constituted soon to discuss measures to help states facing natural calamities. Briefing reporters after the 30th GST Council meeting in New Delhi, Mr. Jaitley said the panel will have members of the Northeast, Hill and Coastal states. The ministerial panel will also examine the legality of imposing a new tax on certain goods and services to raise resources for natural calamity-hit states. The GST panel, headed by Mr. Jaitley, also took stock of the shortfall in tax mop-up by majority of the states under the new indirect tax regime. The Finance Minister said the states faced an average 16% shortfall in goods and services tax mop-up in the first year of implementation, that is July 2017 to March 2018. He said the shortfall has come down to 13% during April to August period of the current fiscal.
On the All India picture, the state deficit, which we have to neutralize to a zero situation on the expiry of the 5th year, in the first year was 16%. This year, so far, it's come down to about 13%, and I hope it will be a percentage or two lesser than that because consumption is high at the moment. And as it goes on a glide path downwards, the more it comes closer to zero at the expiry of the 5th year, the more the states will be closer to achieving those targets themselves.
With 6 states, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland, Sikkim and Andhra Pradesh, are facing revenue surplus in the current fiscal, 25 states have a revenue shortfall and have to be compensated by the centre. The state deficit has to be neutralised within 5 years of launch of the GST. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. The Supreme Court today refused to interfere with the arrest of 5 rights activists by Maharashtra police in connection with the Koregaon Bhima violence case, and also declined to appoint an SIT for a probe into their arrest. The 3-judge bench, headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra in a 2-1 verdict, refused the plea seeking the immediate release of the activists. The Chief Justice said arrests were not because of dissent of activists, but there was prima facie material to show their link with the banned CPI Maoist organization. Justice A.M. Khanwilkar said the accused persons cannot choose which investigating agency should probe the case. He said this was not a case of arrest merely because of difference in political views. Justice Khanwilkar read out the verdict for himself and the Chief Justice, while Justice D.Y. Chandrachud said he was unable to agree with the view of the 2 judges. Justice Chandrachud said the arrest of the 5 accused was an attempt by the state to muzzle dissent. The majority verdict said the house arrest of the accused shall remain in force for 4 weeks to enable them to seek appropriate legal remedy at an appropriate legal forum. Meanwhile, BJP President Amit Shah today said the Congress has been exposed with the Supreme Court's refusal to interfere with the arrests of the 5 activists in the case. In a series of tweets, Mr. Shah said it's high time the Congress clears its stand on the issue of urban nationalism. Addressing media persons in New Delhi, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra said the Apex Court judgment on the Bhima Koregaon violence case is a win for India and is also an indictment of the Congress.
ये भारत वर्ष के लिए बहुत बड़ी जीत है, राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा और राष्ट्र हित की जीत है। अपने आप को हिंदुस्तान की राजनीति में प्रोपेल करने के लिए राहुल गांधी विगत कुछ वर्षों से जिस प्रकार की राजनीति को हवा दे रहे हैं, वो राष्ट्र के सुरक्षा के साथ खिलवाड़ कर रहा है. That is the reason as to why we would say this judgment of Supreme Court, apart from in fact exposing the Naxals, the Maoists of this country, has exposed Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and this is an indictment of the Congress party.
The centre has issued an advisory to states, asking them to make the general public aware that mob violence of any kind will invite serious consequences under the law. Citing the Supreme Court's directive to check incidents of lynching, the Home Ministry told the states that preventive measures must be taken to check such incidents. The court had ordered that the central and state governments should broadcast on radio and television and other media platforms, including the official websites of the Home Department and police of the states, that lynching of any kind shall invite serious consequences. Information and Broadcasting Minister Rajyavardhan Rathore launched All India Radio's streaming services on Amazon's Alexa smart speakers in New Delhi today. Alexa is a voice-enabled platform led by artificial intelligence. Speaking at the launch of Alexa in New Delhi, Mr. Rathore said 17 channels of All India Radio, including Vivid Bharati, FM Gold, FM Rainbow and Northeastern services are being live-streamed on Alexa. He said the device will enhance the brand image of the public service broadcaster.
रेडियो पॉपुलर होता जा रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो मन की बात करनी शुरू करी उससे और पॉपुलर हो गया रेडियो। एक ऐसा माध्यम है जिसकी वजह से कोई डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होता, लेकिन उनकी काम की जो करने की क्षमता है वो और बढ़ जाती है रेडियो की वजह से। बहुत से लोग होंगे जो देश विदेश में अपने लोकल स्टेशन को सुनना चाहते होंगे और अब एलेक्सा के माध्यम से वो बिना उठे, बिना उंगली हिलाए, अपनी वॉइस के कमांड से वो सब अपने लोकल स्टेशन सुन पाएंगे।
Chairman Prasar Bharati Shri A. Surya Prakash, CEO Prasar Bharati Dr. Shashi Shekhar Vempati and other senior officials of the ministry were also present at the event. The Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana scheme offers life insurance of 2 lakh rupees at an annual premium of 330 rupees for each member of a family. The scheme is renewed every year and is available to people in the age group of 18 to 50 years. Here's a ground report from our Goa correspondent.
The Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana life insurance scheme has benefited several citizens in Goa, especially those from the economically weaker sections. North Goa's Talegaon-based Syed Irfan, who is a beneficiary of the scheme, speaks about its benefits.
मेरा नाम सैयद इरफान है। मार्केटिंग में मैं काम करता हूँ। प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना इस स्कीम के बारे में मुझे बैंक मैनेजर ने बताया था और इसका लाभ मैंने उठाया है। साल में सिर्फ 330 रुपए अपने आप बैंक से डिडक्ट हो जाते हैं। यह स्कीम का लाभ 18 साल से 50 साल की उम्र वाले उठा सकते हैं।
Involving a low premium and the auto debit feature, the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana is contributing towards creating a universal social security system, especially for the poor and the underprivileged. Saikat Sarkar from Goa for AIR.
Powerful earthquakes today jolted the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, destroying houses and killing at least one person. The U.S. Geological Survey said the strongest quake had a magnitude of 7.5. It was centered at a depth of 10 kilometers, about 56 kilometers northeast of the central Sulawesi town of Donggala. It briefly triggered a tsunami warning. An official said widespread damage was expected and urged people to stay outdoors because of the danger of strong aftershocks. Donggala, which is home to about 300,000 people, was worst hit with a swarm of strong aftershocks. Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said India and Nepal have agreed to explore the possibility of laying pipelines for LPG and natural gas for fertilizer plants and industries in Nepal. He was talking to media persons after a bilateral meeting with Nepal's Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supply, Matrika Prasad Yadav, in Kathmandu. Mr. Pradhan said both countries have agreed to complete the pipeline work from Motihari in Bihar to Amelkhganj in Nepal at an early date. Bangladesh has set a victory target of 223 runs for India in the Summit Clash of Asia Cup now underway at Dubai. Put into bat, Bangladesh were all out for 222 in 48.3 overs. Openers Liton Das and Mehdi Hassan Miraz stitched a 120-run partnership when Kedar Jadhav broke their century stand, scalping the wicket of Mehdi Hassan, who scored 32. Liton Das hit his maiden ODI century and was out for 121. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 3-day-long Parakram parv celebrations begin across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates exhibition at Jodhpur, showcasing capabilities of armed forces. Supreme Court opens gates of Ayyappa Temple at Sabarimala to women of all ages. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says a 7-member ministerial group will be set up to suggest measures for helping states facing natural calamities. Supreme Court declines SIT probe in Bhima Koregaon case, says arrest of activists not due to malicious prosecution or dissent against government. 7.5 magnitude earthquake jolts Indonesian island of Sulawesi. And in Asia Cup final, Bangladesh set a winning target of 223 runs for India. And that's all in the news at 9. Good night.